Rhinestone, and not the direct words or precise words. He asked me, like, "Are you ever going to let go of the past?" And I said, "Absolutely not." And I'm really simplifying a conversation we had. I said, "Nearly everything that I have in my life, which you guys don't see, a lot of it was just true grit and determination, living in poverty and working hard. It wasn't the internet stuff." That was all fueled by anger and rage. And as I got older and wiser and see just how much the previous generations lied to us, and continue to make it just fucking impossible to live, especially for you younger people. No, I will never, ever get sick until there's like an apology and ARP shuts down and they say, okay, we're gonna, I don't know what you could possibly do. The damage is done. Maybe. And by the way, boomers can always contribute to the comments section if you boomers know how. But no, after what they've done to the country and both yours, mine, and everybody else's, like, no, I will, because they're wrong. They're just wrong. They're right there is the main reason to keep pointing out how wrong they were. We have a great example in history where the leading parenting wise generation was wrong. You have the consequences called the millennials, and to a lesser extent Gen X, and we need to point out for future generations, say, hey, the collapse of the Roman Empire, they started thinking we could inflate the currency and everything could be built on slavery and bread and circuses. What do you mean, the barbarians? And since it cost me a tremendous, just so you know, it's not like my mom and dad were bad people. That's not it. It's the teachers and you boomer boss cocksuckers. And I hope, and I think I'm going to get my wish. I hope all of them have the experience of Robert Reich, who was the former labor secretary under Clinton, and Paul Krugman, maybe even Noam Chomsky, that before you guys die, that bridge does not blow up. Referencing the good, the bad, and the ugly. The captain where the bridge, all he wanted was the bridge to blow up so he could save his men. And he's passing away, but he hears the bridge blow up because he got injured. And a smile's on his face. You guys don't get that. Your dream of turning this into a Marxist shithole didn't work. Trump's in office. The young kids are starting to wake up. They're starting to realize that the cool, hip, edgy thing, bro, is not free shit and touchy-feely good feels and being popular. And I will not until there's an apology. You know what? I also want money. I want to be compensated for nearly all of my education. I want full-time pay at the median average wage from kindergarten up to college. I want it prorated for a modicum of interest, not the S&P 500, but let's say 7%. I want ARP to file an apology to the nation, not just me, to the nation of young people, and say, we're sorry, we fucked up. And now we're going to start advocating sensible, long-term, sustainable economic policies. Until that happens, no, fuck them. They're the punching bag until we're dead, until they're dead, until they're dead. So this is from the Telegraph. This was brought to me by a black female agent in the field. I know 3. This is Black Calamity Jane, if you were wondering. The Telegraph, yes, I know, tabloidy over in Britain. Grandparents are afraid to say no to childcare in case they get cut off. No, that's too bad. See, you boomers aren't going to get away from childcare. No, is there no better feeling in the world? You guys have seen it. Guys my age have seen it. You see the boomer parents, the boomer couple, and they're pushing a stroller down the road. And the way you can tell if it's their grandkid, well, it is their grandkid, but whether they're raising it or they're just spending time with it as grandparents because they raised a bad son or a bad daughter, you could tell by their face. If they're grumpy, they raised shit kids and the kids had kids they couldn't afford, out of wedlock, whatever. And now the boomers got to raise it. It's beautiful. You just see the defeat in their face. But if there's boomers and they're just happily watching over their grandkid and they're not raising it, then they're happy. But you see that and you're just like, oh yeah. I remember dating your daughter or people like her. Yeah, she was an insufferable pain in the ass. Didn't take responsibility for anything. Nothing's too good for it. Daddy's little princess. Oh, you got to raise your bastard grand spawn, your grand crotch fruit. You get to raise it. Well, maybe your daughter's just still finding herself. You will raise children, either your own or your grandchildren. One of the two. One of the two. Across Britain, an estimated 2 million grandparents have been denied contact with their grandchildren. I wonder why. It's another Scooby-Doo mystery. We spoke to those fighting back. I'm sorry. Do you have a right to your grandchildren? You know how you could prevent your baby boomer parents from having grandchildren? You just don't have kids. Hey! Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, you bastards. It's behind a paywall. Hang on. Let's find it. Grandparents, childcare. Hang on. Gee, who was in charge of the media? All this. Oh, that's right. Boomers. Are you going to blame everything on the Democrats and the boomers? And you would blame who? Who else would you blame? Republicans in the Senate? We haven't been doing that since 1988. All right. Grandparents, afraid, child care, get cut off. This is AI. The Telegraph, Facebook. Do I get to read through it here? Do I get to read it on my computer? Okay, here we go. To continue, sign up for the free article. No, I don't want to sign up for the free article. No, I do not. That's all right. We don't have to. I don't have to do this. We got the we got the gist of it. Okay. Nope, that's a link. Can we do the Wayback Machine or archive? How do you do this again? Someone explained it to me. Internet Archive. Let's try it. Paste. Let's go. Archive websites. Let's try that. God, I hate you guys. I just hate you guys so much. The Wayback Machine. Let's try the Wayback Machine. Paste as plain text and search. All right, there we go. I can't. Let's see if we could find something else. 1 year ago, grandparents threatened to cut off daycare, advances, turning into a battle. Nevada families face child care crisis as state cuts. Oh, you're going to have to raise your own children? I'm being cut on my grandchild's life. What are my rights? Let's read this one. This is from 2024. Pittsburgh family law. I'm being cut out of my grandchild's life. What are my rights? There's no doubts that grandparents and grandchildren often share a special bond. Grandparents have often stepped in to assist with childcare and take the children out to do fun things. In the last decade, many grandparents are taking on a larger role because their children and grandchildren reside with them. Man, that's too bad. I wonder if you boomers didn't vote for a tremendous welfare state and kept it around, if your children and grandchildren might be able to have their own place. Oh, well. When everyone gets along, this is wonderful. Unfortunately, when a marriage breaks apart, this isn't always possible. Come on, baby, light my fire. Sometimes one or even both parents refuse to let grandparents see the children. When that happens, grandparents wonder if they have any rights, if a court can give them an order allowing them to see their grandchildren. It would never dawn on me I have the right to see my grandkids. Like, look at the boomer entitlement. I don't care that you're the parent. I want to see the grandkids. Before a court can give you a custody offer, it first has to determine if you have such a great interest in a child's welfare that you have the right to ask for custody. This concept is known as standing. There are a few ways grandparents can establish this. The first way to establish that they have been acting as the child's parents. Oh, well, that's like 40% of you guys out there, right? Right? A concept known as in loco parentis. Parents who argue that they act in loco parentis often take on responsibilities such as arranging for and attending medical appointments, arranging for and addressing the child's medical needs, and providing the child a safe home to live in. This is an extremely difficult standard to meet and most often happens when neither parent is caring for the child. A grandparent can also establish standing if the child has been determined to be dependent, if the child is substantially at risk because of parental abuse, neglect, drug, or alcohol abuse, or incapacity. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole thing. Basically, that's a high hurdle to clear. No, you don't have a right to see your grandkids. Maybe you should have brought up your kids well in the first place. Oh no, my grandson got divorced by my granddaughter or no, my son got divorced by my daughter-in-law, and now the family is broke. I don't know. Maybe y'all should have raised kids better. Are you divorced? Oh, gee. I wish we could have had it. We don't have it. We don't have access to it. No, I'm not going to pay for it. Gee, that's too bad. Link below is a link to my course, The Dad You Never Had, which many of you don't have. If you have your parents who, I'm on a fixed income and I'm making bad financial decisions and I don't know where, oh my God, can you help me? No, you need the dad you never had. If you're a kid and your dad ain't around or dad's around, but he doesn't teach you how to throw a punch, what do you, the present but absent father, the dad you never had. There you go. Any super chats? We got 2 Iron Horse reviews, $2. How much blame does the greatest generation get for the boomers? They get some. They get some. They spared the rod and they spoiled the child. I'm not sure they effed up per se. Boomers just rebelled because Ike was a square. I'm going to go 90% boomers, but 10%, a key 10% greatest generation. They should have just given their kids everything. Yeah, and the boomers, yeah, Ike was the square. We're going to save the world. The original social justice warriors. Reen, $5. My best friend's mother is retiring because she's so excited to help take care of her grandchild. She doesn't need to retire. She wants to. Well, okay, good. I mean, do the kids want her to do that? That's good. Yeah, back in the day, you'd have grandma and grandpa would also be married. That's crazy. I know. These young kids, like, wait a minute, the grandparents and my parents would also, and my wife or husband's parents, everyone would have been married and we would have had stable houses and a community to rely upon. Yeah, so we got rid of that. Here's a government check. Here's some government's paid for daycare with some complete rando who smokes pot. Oh, your kid is totally safe. All right, that's it. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.